Saturday. Let's go. Stretch, 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 stretch. Ooh, oh, that's a good stretch. Some days you do it and you're like, wow, I need to do this. And some days you're like, I want to get this over with. It's a lazy Saturday with nothing to do. Late start, but doesn't matter because there's nothing going on. I gotta get out, get a good walk in after this, get a good workout. I feel like I'd be showing a lot more benefits, but we had like 2 ridiculous weeks of like extra cheat days, and boy were they cheat days. Like my buddy found a place where tomatoes were like super duper on sale, and him and I just love making salsa with like tomatoes, green onions, cilantro. So I like put a little bit of celery to give it like a little fresh kick, salt, pepper, garlic, jalapenos. Just chop it all up, throw it in a pot, let it sit. A pot, plastic bowl would be better. Let it sit for a little bit because it gets all the better if you can let it sit. But you make this giant bowl of it, and then you're like, let's go. They buy like 3 bags of tomatoes, but it costs nothing. It's like $2 something, So we made up all that salsa, and I bought a big 1 pound bag of chips thing, and we ate all that up while we recorded videos and watched movies and shit. And I was like, wow, that was fun. And I can't really do this too often or anything. And then the next weekend, he's like, tomatoes are still on sale. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Because tomatoes are never on sale. But it's those social pressures will fuck you up, man. So 2 weekends of that in a row. And we've had family get-togethers with just brutal, like, I ordered burritos and nachos for everybody. And you're like, oh, it's delicious. It has salsa in it too, right? And then we go to my father-in-law who's in hospice, and we visit him every Monday. And my mother-in-law loves to make us dinner, and I had to eventually like confront her, like, you need to make something more reasonable. She's making food for like 4 to 8 people. It was nuts. It's just. She's like, she would make me hamburgers. I love hamburgers, and I was all wounded at when this was first started up. So I was like, oh, I really want that hamburger, and I'll feel good. And that hamburger gonna make me feel good. It definitely made me feel good. And then she'd have a bunch of like potatoes on the side and a big loaf of bread and stuff. And you're like, damn, man, this is all things I love, but it's just brutal. So we, I end up talking to her, and now we have like a hamburger patty with some, put some onions and stuff in it, cut out that bread, and, let's get the sides under control. Can we just have a salad? Sure. But it started slowly slipping back to like, well, I made these hamburgers that are like, I don't know, close to a pound each or something. I'm like, well, this is like going to be like 2,000 calories alone. And then it was loaf of bread was back, and macaroni and cheese on the side this time. And here's your salads too, so it's healthy. And you're like, no, it does. They don't like subtract from each other. You gotta kind of have one. You can't have a healthy thing. It's not Homer Simpson like only 100 calories on this rice cracker. So that we had to get rope that back under control. She made so much mac and cheese that she sent us home with basically like a shoebox. More of it. Like, I was like, really? My wife loves it, and God bless her, she'll eat it instead of me. But I don't really want her to eat that much mac and cheese either. She's like, I'll fucking eat that mac and cheese. And I'm like, yeah, well, I would too. But we got to keep an eye on the prize here sometimes. And I'd had my new workout and walk routine was like more intense, and it was probably burning twice as much calories. But you can't really outwork out bad intake, not on the levels we're talking. So I got really scared, and I stepped on the scale, and it was not, the damage was not that bad. So I was like, oh, okay. But if you had flipped it, if it had been 2 weeks of like good dieting and exercise and everything, instead of like gaining a few pounds, I probably would have lost like 5. and be a lot happier. Just a lot happier mentally. I don't really feel that bad. Um, I can kind of tell, like sometimes in the face looks a little bloated because I'm just eating too much like chips and bullshit. Um, 10. It's just hard. The social pressures for me. I love good food. Um, I talk about it a bunch with my buddy CD, and uh, I'd say he likes good food. We like kind of like similar foods. Everybody likes hamburgers and pizza and bullshit, you know. Uh, but he used to be like really, really super duper in shape, college football, running all the time. Then we both ended up working a QA job at IDOS, and you know, you just sit on your ass and they order you pizzas and hamburgers because that's what's easy to deliver, or maybe Chinese food and Mexican food, which happen to be local. Um, and it, I just wasn't paying attention. Sometimes I started being like, "Can I have like a salad?" And they'd like order you like a Cobb salad or a big Caesar salad with like chicken and stuff, and you're like, "I guess this is better than a hamburger." God, they made these like terrible, weird, flat hamburgers at the pizza place. And I remember being like, "I don't want pizza. Can I just have like a hamburger?" So it was like the devil all around. It didn't really matter what you chose. You're gonna eat something kind of bad. So at least eat the like, uh, what do they call it? They put a bunch of like lunch meat on a salad at like a pizza place. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Whatever. So I would order that, and I'm like, well, this has got to be better, right? It's got lettuce in it. You know, it's definitely somewhat better than eating like half a pizza or something. But you know, we were just sitting around all day. So he got way better into shape, and around the time my nephews started being like little people, and they were like they needed me. You know, they were like, oh, Unky do this, Unky do that. So I started like working out so I could like pick them up and carry them around better, and then you know they're growing faster than I could get strong, and they're roughhousing. I'd take them for, you know, take them for a walk, take them to the playground, and like push them on the like swing, the runaround swing, not the swing, the Ferris wheel. And oh, that's the other one goes the other way, carousel. Uh, I'm like, man, I could get into better shape, and how long am I going to be around if I'm not in better shape? So that was like the impetus that caused me to lose like 100 pounds, and I'm still at that good point. I'd like to lose another 25, um, and see how I do at that. Uh, which just, you know, at this point still means I gotta be deficit eating in calories and stuff to do it. I got close and then I got injured. I think I talk about this a lot here, but it's because I'm thinking about like, you know, I gotta go for my walk and stuff. It's like always on my mind. But yeah, the weeks lately have just been brutal. Where we had like giant deli sandwiches and burritos and nachos all in one day. And I can have a cheat day, and actually I found that the cheat day really seems to make my metabolism. It notices like, oh, there's a food income, and then it kicks into like high gear, and then it kind of like slows down as the days go by. Or at the very least, I noticed that a cheat day didn't really like destroy my progress as far as weight loss was going. But you can't have a cheat day where it's like Monday we went to the in-laws and we cheated. You know, even if it's like a light cheat, like we had two big hamburger patties and some mac and cheese and a salad. Like, it's a little too much. You know, maybe just the one hamburger patty. And then Tuesday is like, okay, we're doing good. Then Wednesday is family dinner, and you never know. You never know with my mother. So you have to manage it there, and then she'll just be like, I don't want leftovers. And you're like, Or she'll make a bunch, she'll be like, I made these low carb noodles. And then when you like look it up, it's like, they're not. They're just gnocchi or whatever. And you're like, eh. The best one is recently she made a bunch of like spaghetti squash. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is like, I can put the spaghetti like sauce and stuff on it and eat it, and it feels like I'm having spaghetti. It's like I'm not missing out. So that was amazing. And then, you know, sometimes every other Thursday is like burrito night, and I found like a plate with just like a steak and some veggies on the side, and it's like that works pretty good. But I also have a bunch of chips, and it's like, oh, there's like 1,000 calories chips and 1,000 in the plate. So if anything else happens that day, you fucked your diet again. And then so one day on the weekend is going to be recording day. That was supposed to be the cheat day. So the real trick became going back to like managing the Monday, managing the Wednesday, uh, doing what I could for alternate Thursdays, you know. But then family Sundays started being a thing lately, and it's like, it's way off. It's way off. The first couple times we did family Sundays, I managed it, but I don't know how they get away with it. They eat a ton, you know, and I'm walking 15 kilometers a day and shit, and doing these workouts and doing my PT and everything, and I'm still like, it's going up. Got to get back on the just like nope, saying no thing. It's frustrating. It's not a lot of damage is done. It's gonna get undone in a week, so it'll be just fine. But like I said, if you took the damage of the 2 weeks and the undoing in the 3 weeks, you'd be closer to losing 5 to 8 pounds instead of like being at like baseline or a little lower. You know, and if you do that like. If I did that 3 times, I'd basically be at the like weight loss goal I'm at. You know, so Christ, don't think about it that way. Anyway, that's just a good reminder to have those boundaries and do your stuff every day and do it right. You know, and in my case, there's no, I don't lose anything if I don't get it, but I'm pushing for it and I like it. So let's just call this now. I'm yammering about weight loss and everything. So. Take care of yourselves, get better, see your doctors, follow your instructions, and we'll see you at the movies? What? Why would I say that?